1930s inspired tulip applique quilt many years ago with this fresh spring green. It looks gorgeous with corals. Yeah, it is. It's just fresh spring green. It's in a Christmas collection, but it doesn't need to stay there. You decide where you want to put it. And again, for £3.99, there's less than 10 meters of that green left. So if you want that, you are going to need to be quick. Now, next up, let's talk tessellations and tiles here, WD 36. So fussy cutting, selective cutting, framing. So much in this. Belly of the butterfly, reflectional symmetry. It is gorgeous, isn't it? Very country house. Oh, actually, very kind of trendy, boho, you know, I could never decorate like that kind of style as well. I could imagine this as a wallpaper in producer Ben's house, which is very stylish. But again, for patchwork, you could fussy cut motifs, you could kaleidoscope different designs, you could stack and whack this. It would be very much about pattern rather than colour then creating the designs, but that would be amazing to stack and whack. And again, for stack and whack, you need a lot of meterage. For a bed-size quilt, you probably need 6-7 meters of your main fabric to have enough repeats. But at £3.99 for a ½ meter, you could do it. Great colour as well, isn't it? That mustard would work really well with the grey. Now, last one, design, same design. This is in a hot kind of tomato red, WR75. Gorgeous it is. It is gorgeous. But again, I'm just going to bring in just for a second that Christmassy fabric just to show you how, yeah, you can work these together. You could work these together, absolutely, and make it Christmassy. Or you can take them apart and this could be all year round. Derek, is this speaking to you of Christmas shirts? It's quite a bold one, isn't it? Quite a big one for a shirt, but it could be done. I love it. What a great buy. Be quite quick with those, won't you, with your decisions there, because they're all at £3.99. They're all in danger. They're all going to fly. Next up, let's do design roll. Yes, I have that. Another brand new design roll. Oh, it has been on once before. Have we got an open one then? No, we don't. So I'll open this. This is traditional colours, but done it again. Traditional colours, but modern fabric style. Okay. So this is already at £39.99, so it's already very keenly priced. Shall we? Let's go even. Great, let's do it. £35.99 for this. Let me show you. Absolutely gorgeous. This is our most affordable design roll so far from Moda. You get a lot of value, don't you, in a jelly roll. Remember, you could be winning the value of this back into your account. We'll pick one customer today who buys a jelly roll, strip roll, design roll, and pick them at random, and then you'll win the value of whatever you bought, that jelly roll, that strip roll, that design roll, paid back into your Sewing Street account. Love that. Lovely deep yellow, deep red. Now, obviously, I showed you earlier on how to create the log cabin. I think this range would also work really well for a log cabin. Love those greens. There's lots of different nice greens in this one. So you can see it's a very traditional palette. I mean, certainly up to this point, but much more modern design. So if you like that bit of tradition, but you've got rather more modern interior, you want something that's a little bit kind of sharper, this would work. This would work really nicely. And then we have a few black and cream prints, which I just think slightly veers from the traditional colourway, but works absolutely beautifully. Love that sort of herringbone tweed print. This too, it's almost like train tracks, and the little cross stitch. Really smart range that. Loving that. We just bring that back in. When you see them all fanned out, I mean, I just want to grab a sewing machine and a rotary cutter and start sewing now. One of my favourite things to do actually with 2.5 inch strips is to make a strip pieced Christmas stocking, and the way you do that is just to cut out a Christmas stocking shape, but probably about 1 inch on all sides bigger than you want the finished Christmas stocking to be. Okay, you can put some backing fabric on as well, and then you just grab your strips, and you can just do it really simply and just lay them, like maybe draw a 45-degree line, lay your first strip down right side up, then lay your next strip on top of it, right sides together, sew 1/4 inch, flip it open, press. So you're sewing through the batting and through the backing as well, and just keep building up the strips in a diagonal. The other thing you can do, just till it's all covered and then trim around the edge. The other thing you can do is to lay your strips, mark a line, okay, maybe, I don't know, 1/3 of the way down from the top, and then do your strips coming that away out from the line, first of all, to cover the main body of the stocking, and then go back to that line and all those raw edges, trim them off a little bit, lay a strip over the top going across all of them, stitch and flip, and then build up that side. So you've got some strips going this way and then some strips going this way to cover your stocking, and that again looks really cool. It's quilt as you go. You can then just create a backing, you could bind the edges, put a little hanging loop. Really special project made from your strips, made in next to no time. You can make one of those in an afternoon or an evening. If you haven't been drinking eggnog, but I mean, as soon as I start preparing for Christmas, the sloe gin comes out, the eggnog comes out, everything gets kind of, mixed together. That's lovely. Okay, great. Now, next up, we've got same fabric, Same fabric, but with a 10-inch stack. Now, stack and whack, easiest thing to do is to Google it, but I explain very quickly, is you cut 6 or 8 repeats right across the width of fabric with the same repeat of fabric 6 or 8 times. You stack them together. You have to pin very, very carefully. It's a whole technique. And then you cut, and you cut triangles, like 6 sets of triangles or 8 sets of triangles that are all identical. Then when you sew them together, it creates a kaleidoscope. As I say, if you Google stack and whack by Bethany Reynolds, you'll see gazillions of quilts made using that technique. You have to make it out of yardage. Perhaps if you've made stack and whack at home, you could share a picture on the fan page, or you could send a picture in to us. So it's not something you can do with a pre-cut, no. But I have got a pre-cut here. It's a 10-inch layer cake from Moda. Same design. It's called Red Barn Christmas. And which is interesting really, because I think maybe it's come out of quite a traditional place, the idea of the traditional barn in America at Christmas, but the designs themselves have a really lovely, crisp, modern feel. Do you want an amazing? I want an amazing price.